Is a bigger earthquake looming after Monday's Bay Area tremor? It's a question that strikes almost everyone's mind right after the ground shakes, and it's an emotional one. The fear of an even more powerful quake lurking around the corner keeps many residents on edge. But is this fear justified, or is it mostly anxiety talking? Let's dig into what the science really says and reveal a few facts most people don't realize. But here's where it gets controversial. Experts agree. While small earthquakes do occasionally foreshadow larger events, it is uncommon for them to be precursors to a major quake. After a 4.3 magnitude earthquake rattled Berkeley early Monday morning, waking thousands out of their sleep, seismologists explained the actual odds of an even bigger quake following it are quite low. Angie Lux, a respected seismologist at the Berkeley Seismology Laboratory, put it bluntly. There's a slight possibility this quake was just a warning shot. But based on statistics, there's less than a 1% chance that a far greater earthquake will strike in the immediate aftermath. In other words, while people naturally worry about a big one following a moderate shake, statistically, it's unlikely. The U.S. Geological Survey supported this outlook with clear numbers. Over the week following the Berkeley tremor, there's a 16% chance of another magnitude 3, smaller quake in the same area. A 2% chance of another of similar size, magnitude 4, and less than a 1% likelihood of a magnitude 5 or greater. And this is the part most people miss. Bigger earthquakes tend to cause larger aftershocks. If the aftershock exceeds the original quake's strength, it officially becomes the main shock, while the earlier event is demoted to foreshock status. Consider the dramatic case of the 2019 Ridgecrest sequence in Kern County. On July 4th, a strong 6.4 magnitude jolt struck near the desert town of Ridgecrest. Afterwards, a relentless series of over 1,400 aftershocks rattled the area. Then, only 1 day later, a magnitude 5.4 aftershock hit. And several hours after that, the region was rocked by a colossal 7.1, the real main event. This incident underscores just how unpredictable aftershocks and foreshocks can be, making earthquake forecasting a challenge. Angie Lux emphasized another overlooked point. A 4.3 earthquake like the one that struck today is not considered big. Big quakes disrupt larger portions of a fault, making significant aftershocks nearly inevitable. With smaller quakes like this one, only a limited section of the fault is stressed, so triggering a major follow-up quake is much less likely. Sarah Minson, a research geophysicist at the USGS Earthquake Science Center, took a step back to look at the bigger picture. In the 56 years between 1967 and 2022, she noted, there have only been 279 earthquakes of magnitude 4 or higher across Bay Area counties, averaging about 5 per year. Many of these occurred in remote spots, like the geysers in northern Sonoma County, or sparsely populated sections of the Diablo Range, rather than in busy urban areas. Minson also shared an intriguing rule of thumb. Typically, the most powerful aftershock following an earthquake is 1 full magnitude lower than the main event. So after a quake of magnitude 4, the largest expected aftershock is usually a 3 or even a 2, which most people won't even notice. What about Monday's quake, which was the largest the Bay Area has felt in nearly 3 years? Thankfully, it caused no major injuries or structural damage, but it did occur along a historically restless fault, the Hayward-Rodgers Creek Fault. The last time this fault produced a truly significant quake was way back in 1868. Geological records indicate that massive quakes have typically struck this fault every 140 to 170 years. Does that mean the region is overdue for another? This is one of those debates that tends to split experts down the middle. What do you think? More importantly, Monday's quake is a reminder, not a prophecy. According to Lux, everyone living in earthquake-prone areas, like the Bay Area, should take practical steps to prepare. Secure bookshelves and cabinets to the wall. Use earthquake putty to prevent valuables from toppling. And keep an emergency kit handy with at least 3 days' worth of water for every person in your home. We'd all love to know exactly when the next big earthquake will strike, Lux reflected. The reality is, we just can't predict it. But we do know these events will happen eventually, so don't be frightened, be ready. After all, preparation is the best defense. So here's a controversial question for you. Do you feel reassured by these statistics, or does the uncertainty just make you more anxious? Some say the science doesn't settle their nerves. Others trust the odds. Where do you stand? Do you think we should treat every earthquake as a possible warning? Or is that being too alarmist? Join the conversation and let's hear your perspective.